Today on Last Call Speed Shop, we have an interesting project. It's the frame-off restoration of a 1989 Suzuki RMX250. So stick around. A while back, a friend of mine contacted me and asked if I would do a complete restoration of a bike for him. He told me that this had been his first race bike that he bought new back in 1989. It's a Suzuki RMX250. He raced this bike in some hare scrambles and even raced some motocross races in New England on it. He had some pretty nice modifications done to the bike back then. To the motor, he had West Gilbert port job done to it, some Boyson components and aftermarket exhaust. Eventually, he sold the bike. 30 years later, he gets a call from a local motorcycle shop, and they tell him that someone had just traded in a 1989 RMX 250 with his name on the title. So he went down to the dealership and he immediately bought the bike back. That's when he brought the bike to me for complete restoration. When I received the bike, it was in pretty rough shape. So first I went through and disassembled the bike right down to the frame and began making a list of all the parts that I would need to replace and which ones could be refurbished. Some of the parts from this era, Japanese motorcycles, are easy to find and some are not so easy to find. The frame was in pretty good shape, just needed a little straightening out. Once we got it straightened out, we sent the frame out to be powder coated. I fitted it with new races and bearings. The swing arm I was able to salvage, polished that up and replaced all the bearings in it. And then we went through and polished up the rear suspension linkage, installed all new bearings in that as well. I'm in the process of rebuilding the forks and shock right now. And as for the motor, it's going to receive a new top end, clutch, studs, gaskets, seals, new Boyson rad valve. The carb was in pretty good shape. It just needed a rebuild and a good cleaning. So some of the parts are starting to come in for the rest of the bike. So look for another video soon and we'll have the completion of the RMX project. So look to my channel for more videos or go to my website, lastcallspeedshop.com.